Hey everybody, welcome to the Chris and Dan show. And I got to tell you, they legitimately, I mean, truly, they think you and I are morons. Like, as stupid as they are, right? They think at best the brightest among us are Forrest Gump type smart, right? Or maybe me. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They think you're the Three Stooges, and me too, type of smart. I mean, they have to. They absolutely have to. Have you seen this report? I mean, the CPI report came out today, and they say food at home, so food at home right here is up 1% year over year. I mean, we all got to eat, right? We're all eating. Thankfully, my wife does the grocery shopping because every time I go with her, which is not too often, it pisses me off how much prices have gone up. So, y'all have to know, especially those of you doing the shopping, it's up more than 1% since last year, the food prices. And I'm going to go into more detail on exactly how they're, well, not exactly, because I don't know all the exact details, but we're going to go into some specificity on how they're coming up with these price points, or excuse me, these percentage increases by the individual items. And it's ludicrous. I mean, absolutely ludicrous. And again, I can't believe how stupid they think we are. I mean, uh, uh, well, let's bring up the next one. I'm almost speechless on how dumb they think you are, and I am too. So, food, right? They say right here, food up 1%, right? A total is 2.1%, but that includes going out to eat, right? Which we all know damn well. That's ridiculously priced at this point. So that'd be food away from home, eating out at restaurants and the like. I mean, they're saying 4% food away from home. Well, maybe this doesn't include restaurants because food away from home, 4.5, 5.7. No, that doesn't average 4%. So that's more than 4%. So yeah, they're saying what it would appear to me, food away from home. They're saying restaurant prices have increased because you got to have some negatives in there. The two items they're providing are, and again, this is part of how they think you're so stupid. Again, not just you, me too, right? All of us. So to get to 4% year over year increase in pricing, the two items they're showing are both more than 4%. So there has to be items that are much less than 4% to have an average of 4%. I mean, let's do this real quick. Let's get a calculator up here. Um, and if we take 5.7 plus 4.5 and divide that by 2, we get 5.1%, right? So just these two items would be 5.1%. So to be below 4%, obviously, you're going to need uh, substantially less items, right? So restaurants, right? That would be need to be around 2-3% increase year over year to get it down to 4% for all items. It's not happening. It's not happening. If anything, restaurants are more than 5% a year, year over year in increased pricing. So again, I come back to it, right? They think at best the brightest among us are Forrest Gump smart. Um, but let's go into specificity here in terms of the food at home. That's what really intrigues me. So they're saying it's only up 1% year over year to go grocery shopping at your local supermarket. They put out some items here. Um, every single one of them is over 1%. And I assume uh, eggs, and I don't think that's even correct, right? I think eggs have gone up more than 3% year over year. But I don't do the grocery shopping in my household, so I'm not certain of that. But let's just take this for a moment. One, they want you to believe that food's only gone up 1%. Two, that all the numbers they show you are above 1%. Um, thirdly, the items not included on the list must be much lower, right? Because every one of these items are over 1%. I can't think of an item. because occasionally I do go to the grocery store and I buy some steaks. I want to do some barbecuing or some ribs, something along those lines. And way more expensive this year than last. 20% would be my guess year over year to buy a steak, right? I want to have a ribeye, something. Oh, it's making me hungry. Something along those lines. So, I mean, come on. If steak's up 20%, beef as a whole is probably up at least around that point, if not maybe a little less, 15% year over year. I mean, ground beef now costs per pound what it used to cost pre-pandemic. So let's say late 2019, ground beef now costs what a ribeye steak costs per pound, maybe even more. So yeah, these people just think you're morons. I mean, absolute morons. You know, how do you trust these people at all? I mean, it's not just media, which this is coming from. The other tab that I showed, the other website, that's the actual government website, U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics. So yeah, government thinks you're an idiot. The media thinks you're an idiot because this is the media, right? CNBC, an affiliate of NBC or parent company's NBC. Um, Politicians think you're idiots. I mean, no respect at all. Think you're absolute morons. The thing is who do they think's looking at these numbers, right? Is it and I certainly mean no offense by this, but I don't think I don't think they think that poor people that would be in what would be considered the category of poor. I don't think they're looking at this. I don't they have way bigger concerns than what is the inflation number. Don't think they're concerned about poor people looking at this. Don't think they're concerned about rich people looking at this either. The elite, they what they're concerned about are my assets going up in price. So those that they think are the true idiots are the middle class. Those, and more specifically, I think it's those that are investing, right? Say, for example, the stock market, because oftentimes when people become fearful of what's really going on, um, they start changing habits in terms of investing money if they have a need to invest at all, which I don't honestly, I don't see how people do these days. I mean, again, unless somehow what they publish becomes a reality for you, um, food has not gone up 1% year over year. It has not. Grocery shopping, it's way more than 1% year over year. And again, just they're demonstrating this by showing you there's not a negative number on this chart or on these items to bring the total down to 1%. Everything's the lowest item, eggs, is three times what they're claiming the inflation rate is. And like I said, I bet you if they put beef on here, it's 20%. So it'd even be higher. What else do people eat, right? Um, Pasta, rice, those things aren't on here. I think those are even more expensive. Again, unfortunately, I don't do the shopping, so I don't know for certain. But I damn well know that it's not 1%. Food has not gone up simply 1% year over year. Um, so yeah, I mean, who are they trying to fool? I believe they're trying to fool the middle class. Um, because if you start making drastic maneuvers, which it's going to happen anyhow, because people can't afford these things. People can't afford food anymore. So whatever investments they may have, they're going to have to start selling those off to pay for these things. So I honestly, I'm at a loss for why the the government, the media, the politicians, why why they tell us these things, right? I don't know, and I don't understand what they think that's going to solve. I mean, I'm at a loss. I truly am. I have no explanation on when we all know we're struggling just to buy food at the grocery store. Why they think telling us 1% is the reality year over year. So in the last 365 days, prices have gone up 1% for eating at home. Don't know, man, or don't know. So you're being gaslit with by a flamethrower, um, and all I can say, and hopefully I don't offend anybody here, but if I do, so what? Sorry. Uh, there's a reason. There's a reason that the establishment doesn't like Trump. I mean, it's a fact, right? The fact is, they don't want to see him as president. They'll do anything to keep him from being president. Um, to be a politician in this country is like being an actor in this country. You have to audition, right? And the politicians are carrying through with these lies. Trump was not chosen. Trump chose himself, right? He was not chosen. Um, they do not like him. They do not want to see him be president again. They absolutely, politicians, the media, the elites, absolutely have a plan. And Trump's not part of that plan. Just letting you know. If you're opposed to Trump, do your own research. You'll figure it out. If you legitimately do some research, you'll figure it out. Be open to it because this isn't working for anybody. So just be mindful of that so I can tell you. It's the best advice I can give you. Do not fall for what they're trying to sell you because they think you're an idiot. They really do. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching the Chris and Dan show. Take care. Bye bye.